That's my cat. Hey guys, I haven't made anything about Fortaleza in a while, other than tweets. So I thought it could be a little fun adventure if I booted up Football Manager and looked who's the best player, the best value player, and stuff like that, just to have a little fun with the game. I don't know how many of you play it. I used to play it a lot. Nowadays I took a break, but it's been a fun thing to look through Fortaleza's squad and such. So I thought I would share my experience with you. Now, oh, okay, you gonna go? There you go. Okay, right. So the first things that I need to tell you is that I don't know, I don't know why. The game thinks that Fortaleza plays in green. Now this is an official Steam key and such, so it's not an illegal copy or anything like that. I don't know why is that. I probably should and could be able to switch it to the good kit. But I actually don't want to play, like, I'm not going to make a video series where I play with Fortaleza. I just wanted to show you around what the game thinks in general. So we don't desperately need to change or quote-unquote fix this. Now, the first few things that I can see is the following. Before I do that, I apologize for my terrible pronunciation. I don't speak Portuguese at all, so just bear with me on this. Right, so it does say that the key player is Juninho, who's been massively criticized this season, as far as I understand, while he is an important component of the team. You can see why. He's an alright guy, he's an all-rounder. Obviously has his strength in a squad like this. I purposefully avoided the age thing because I want to talk about it a little bit furthermore. Gustavo Coutinho is someone I've genuinely never heard ever since. I've been following this team for a year now, and I have never heard his name ever. He's not valued too high. He's okay-ish, but he's not that great, to be honest, and with 21 years old, he's probably never gonna make it in this team. And the captain is Quintero, who is not even playing most of the times, so that's odd to me. Now, these are just basic things. Finances are okay, apparently. And that's pretty much it for this scene. Now, if we go hover over to the squad, I was curious about the contracts. And apparently, by the end of 2021, if you don't do anything, you have 3 players: Quintero, Romarinho, and David. Or David. I think that's closer to the actual pronunciation. Again, I'm sorry. I don't know how to say these names. And I apologize for that. Now, I gotta be honest as always. I'm not a big fan of this guy. I genuinely never seen him score. He does have goals this season, but I just never happened to see him actually score a goal. And you can see why. I mean, even here, he only has 9 finishing, and if we go back for a second, this guy has more finishing than David, so you could argue, wait, that's the wrong way. You can argue that he's been used in the wrong setup or wrong position, but still, you would expect goals from a player like this. Now, from my Twitter interactions, it do seem like, from what I've heard throughout Twitter mentions and such from you guys, is that it's quite common in Brazil to just go willy-nilly and assemble a squad for a year and then don't bother with the years after that. It's bonkers to me. I mean, look at all these players they all leave if you don't do anything, if you don't start negotiating with them. And this is just baffling to me. It's insane. Sure, it's not like they go at once. Like if we, let's see, from here to here, these players all leave at the end of next year, and then these guys move in December, these guys in November. You get the idea. Now another very important thing that I can see a pattern in is that it's a very old squad. Quite frankly, there are only 3 people. These 3 players are the only players who are below the age of 24, so quote unquote a young player or whatever to say. This is not good. Obviously Yuri Cesar just signed abroad, so he's gone as we speak, and Ronald is a loanee, so probably not gonna stay here for a long time, which leaves you with only Luis Enrique, who honestly I have no memories of seeing him play. I think he played here and there as a substitute, but I don't think I've seen him playing proper. So I don't have a lot of thoughts on him so far, but that could be said with a lot of players. I don't remember Diaz. I'm pretty sure he gets playtime quite often, and some other players too. I don't want to go through every single person because I haven't seen enough games to justify that. Now, if we were to go to reports, which is a basic idea of who are your best players based on, basically this is the current ability, and that's the potential ability. If they do as best as they could, that's the ability they can reach for those who don't play the game. And I can see that it's a very even squad in terms of quality. Like a half star is not a huge difference, so you have a lot of players with good quality and similar quality, but most of your key players are just they're also over the age of 30, most of them. Wellington Paulista is obviously the GOAT, not just because of the goals, but also because he jumps like a goat before taking a penalty. I absolutely hate that. I love his goals, but damn, I hate that penalty. Just go ahead and bang it in. Anyways, so yeah, that's now that I look at this, I mean, Felipe is not the old. I don't think I've seen him a lot either, unfortunately. Maybe I should take a look at him better. But basically, yeah, Paula, Juninho, Felipe Alves, Osvaldo, Wellington Paulista, they're all at least 32 years old. And that's the goalkeeper, may I add. So that's the lesser problem. The bigger problem is that you have 4 regular starters at least who are at least 33 years old. Now, obviously, you can be a brilliant footballer later as well. You can see how Zlatan Ibrahimovic is doing really, really well at Milan. But in general, I feel like the squad is aging, and it's not complementing it. The side, it's not a good thing per se. It could work. Before I go to tactics, I wanted to see the value, because I think this player particularly is so much fun to watch. I think he's the best player in the squad. Funnily enough, his numbers are not very convincing, but I think in an eye test, he was probably my favorite. Funnily enough, the the most valuable player is David, which I did not expect whatsoever. And generally speaking, there's some good value. If I were to actually go ahead and start playing the game proper without having any emotional attachment to players, I would probably keep these people, most of them, maybe sell, as much as I love him, but again, if I didn't know, probably would sell the goalkeeper. Probably would, maybe not. I don't know. I would probably sell a lot of guys at the age of at least 30 years old, just to make room for the team to get more youth into it. But what would I play is probably this. Now, what I've seen from Fortaleza in this season so far is something more like this. Don't bother with the actual positions. So oftentimes Fortaleza would sit back and defend a lot more, maybe with the players back here like that. Don't worry about the actual players right now. And that could work. And quite honestly, with this squad, with the age gap of the squad, that could work. That's fine. But because when we go ahead, these two players, whoever they are in the team, usually Juninho and whoever is next to him, is just not enough. Usually there's a huge gap between the attacking four and the midfield, and then the defenders need to support them, and that creates a situation in which the central defenders are left behind. And just put it frankly, they're great in the air, they're robust, strong defenders, but they're not quick. And that's where Fortaleza bites the bullet. Jackson is 31, Paulao is 34, I want to say. Yes, 34. So they're great defenders, but they're not quick defenders. So I feel like if I was put in a position, I would probably play it more safe with a defender here. Play something like this, which is, you can see the stars, and that it could work, it maybe wouldn't work, I don't know. I'm not a coach, so I wouldn't know. That would be probably sort of my ideal tactics if I were to start a save with this team. I was also thinking about something of a 3-5-2 or 5-2-1-2, whatever you want to call it. The idea would be to put why is Juninho there? Oh, it's okay, yeah. So the idea here is to basically ensure that while Paulao and Jackson are winning headers, I would probably drop in Quintero because he's more athletic. I think he's quicker too. Yeah, he's all right. He's fine. So there's someone who can cover the ground a little bit better. It's a very safe strategy to just sit back. You have 5 defenders. I would probably play Vasquez here and Juninho here. So you still have the 2 midfielders trying to win balls back, just as in real life, but you have more guarantee behind them if our attacking power is not there enough, or we can just seal the deal and just not let through the opposition. At this point, I want to mention that I also feel like if I were to do a transfer window for Fortaleza, I would probably go for a striker. Wellington Paulista is fine, but he is very slow by now, and David just doesn't score enough. And honestly, he's more of a target man, so he doesn't create chances. he is there to finish, but he doesn't finish, and that's an issue. So I would probably get a young, athletic striker who can cover a lot of ground ahead, can create problems for the defensive lines, and so the good two dribblers, Romarinho and Osvaldo, could open them up a little bit more. Now, another problem that I've seen is that while Osvaldo has a quick feet, he dribbles a lot without purpose. He does well, gets through the opponent, and then he doesn't know what to do with the ball. So he just turns around, tries to pass back, and nothing happens. Essentially, he dribbled a little bit and then nothing happens. So I've been not impressed with him either. And that means in the usual setup, when again Fortaleza plays something like this instead, that leaves us with a striker who doesn't strike goals, a winger who just kinda dribbles, and with Romarinho being injured right now, that also put out the most creative attacker of the team, which means that most of the players whose job would be to create chances do nothing. And then when we lose the ball, which I described, the midfielders don't cover the ball, and then same deal. So that's what I've seen so far as a problem. So if I were to ensure that the transfer window would go well, I would probably get a striker. I would probably get a creative playmaker kind of player who can create things, who can play the ball, who has good vision for the game, and put him either in the heart of attack or up at or at the side. I would probably get a good ball-winning midfielder as well, because I feel like that's lacking in. Juninho can be fine. I've seen good games of him and a terrible one lately. So it's a roller coaster ride. But he's also 34, so you can't really rely on him for long term. I really enjoyed Vasquez. I don't think he can play really well as an advanced playmaker. I was thinking about, hey, this is not too bad. Maybe he would be a good option in the middle. I like his flair, his energy that he brings. So I would definitely go with that. But again, I come from my European point of view, and I don't see the bigger picture. I am aware of that I'm not familiar with the football culture to this day. That's the whole purpose why I'm doing this adopt a club thingy. So that's pretty much it. Let me know if you want to see something in the game that would interest you, both skill-wise or I don't know, maybe salaries or wages, whatever you might find interesting. Let me know. I can make a video about it. I can talk about my experiences too. I'm looking forward to make more Fortaleza related content in the future, so feel free to suggest me things. I don't know what would be interesting for you as a Brazilian to hear my opinion on. I'm happy to provide if I can, but other than that, just thank you for being here, supporting me, and hopefully we can stay up. So bora lá. I almost forgot to mention, I made a Discord channel back in the day that never really kicked in. There's my Patreon over there, but if any of you wants to drop by and start a conversation there, feel free to do so. The link is in the description to join it.